Okay, let's cover ACH. This is the chart since the IPO in late 2000 at about $7 or so. The stock is now at 32.30, and over the short term it just touched the support level here, this ascending trend line. As you can see, there are a lot of gaps. I guess this stock reflects what happens in Shanghai overnight, and well, the trend is definitely bullish. As you can see, the stock is above the 50 days and the 200 days moving averages. So technically this would be a nice buy. Let's make a brief fundamental study using my evaluation model. Okay, the share price now is 32.32, and the initial share count is 157.76 million ADSs, but I have to check this better. I have some doubts about this. I've opened a lot of 6K forms from the SEC but couldn't find a share count accurate. At least there are many sources here on where is this, here on Market Watch. I have, just a second, I have 157.76 million ADSs outstanding. That's what I've used, and this gives me a market cap of $5.11 billion. So I'm using this number, but I'll have to check that later. Dilution factor 3%. The company has been increasing the share count at this rate over the past few years. Let's look here in money. Okay, here and ten-year summary. Okay, here's the number of shares rising from 10.4 billion in 2001 to 11.6 billion in 2006. But this is the number of Chinese shares. I guess there's a ratio between the ADSs and the Chinese shares. I have to check this better, the ratio between the two. But okay, so it has been rising at a 3% rate, and this gives me a final share count, ADS count, of 172 million. Initial revenue, this is the revenue we've had over the past 12 months. It was $12.78 billion. Also, let's go back again to this income statement. Okay, we've had here 34 billion renminbi, the Chinese currency, then 27 billion, 19.88 billion. Well, if you sum this up and then divide by 7.8, which is the current exchange rate between the dollar and the Chinese renminbi, you get the $12.78 billion, or $12,784 million here as initial revenue. Revenue CAGR, I put here 30%. Revenues are growing really fast. They've been growing 38% a year on average for the past 3 years. I expect 30% going forward, and this gives me a huge final revenue of $28 billion for 2009. Initial net profit margin, this is the 2006 net profit margin, was 18.9%. I expect this to decline to just 15%, which still is very healthy. And this gives me a final net income estimate of $4.2 billion, I'm sorry, an earnings per share estimate of $24. And if we consider the aluminium industry, earnings per share multiple average, which is 12.49, this tells me the stock will be a $305 stock in 2009. And the share price CAGR expected for the next 3 years is 111%. So this is the most attractive stock I've ever seen, if this is all correct. but I'm afraid I'm gonna have to check this all. But really interesting stock, this one. Even though it is a 5 billion market cap, if it earns 4.2 billion dollars in 2009, the stock is very, very cheap here. So I'm gonna check it out further. But on a 1 to 10 scale, I must give it a 9 now, and if I can confirm this, it is a 10, the first 10 ever I'll ever give, but for now it's a 9. Thank you, bye.